We begin at 4 o'clock with some breaking news. Within the last half hour, we learned the teenager accused of bringing an explosive device to Ponderosa High School is 15 years old. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Jeremy Hohola this afternoon for Tom Green. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office is recommending charges of attempted murder. This happened Tuesday just before 9:30 in the morning. Students and staff evacuated Ponderosa High School and the bomb squad was called to sweep the building. Today, the Sheriff's Office says the boy is being held without bond and they're recommending 3 felony charges. This includes attempted murder. The DA's office will make the final determination on charges. We'll continue to follow this breaking news and update you with more information as soon as we get it.
It is a day of changes in the weather. This morning, the fog rolling in over Lookout Mountain. Then we got some sunshine, and now it just kind of feels unsettled. Here's a live look at the Eisenhower Tunnel. Sunny, beautiful day up there right now.
For now.
For now, Kathy. Kathy, it definitely is that March time of the year.
You can almost feel the seasons changing, right? And the weather patterns changing. And it has that convective feel out there. We'll probably see scattered rain showers in Denver tonight. It's been so mild with temperatures in the 50s. But the snow in the mountains actually all day has been steady and heavy. We're seeing a break now, but don't be fooled. The next wave is coming in within hours. Look at the numbers this hour. 50 in Denver, 73 in Lamar. Temperatures lovely. We just love it, but we don't love the wind, which is really starting to spike now around Broomfield, Blackhawk, outside of Bailey, Monument Hill. The wind will create areas of blowing snow as the system moves into Colorado from the west. The snow comes in 3 waves, and that second wave is due to move in within the next couple of hours. Scattered snow showers across the western half of the state, and some of that moisture will come across the foothills in the form of rain for Denver. A few light rain showers are expected over the next 2 or 3 hours, but all of the advisories for heavy snow up in the mountains, where up to 20 inches of snow is possible by Saturday morning, and areas of blowing snow could certainly impact travel. So please be mindful if you are going into the mountains, and I don't blame you for wanting to go skiing. Temperatures will stay comfortable for the next couple hours. Might see a few rain showers. Coming up, we will detail the snow forecast for Denver on Friday ahead of a weekend where highs will come close to 70. A lot to talk about in weather in just a bit.
Okay, thanks, Kathy. 3 deputies are on paid leave tonight after they shot a woman today in Clear Creek County.
The sheriff's office there says deputies were after a woman wanted on an out-of-state felony warrant when she pointed a gun at officers. She is now in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. 9 News reporter Jennifer Meckles is live in Clear Creek County tonight with an update on this case. And Jennifer, the county has come under scrutiny for a previous high-profile police shooting.
Yes, Jeremy, this here in Clear Creek County is the same county where the Christian Glass case happened, which has ended with a conviction against one of the deputies who shot and killed Christian Glass, charges against responding officers from other departments, and a record-setting settlement with the Glass family. Now, that case is not this case. There is context there that's important, but let's talk about what happened here today first. The Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office said all of this case today actually started in Empire. Empire police were trying to arrest a woman who was wanted on an out-of-state warrant out of Oklahoma, and they said she wasn't complying. Empire police call for backup, which includes Clear Creek County. Ultimately, the sheriff's department tells us that that woman took off in a car, and that takes us to this scene here in unincorporated Clear Creek County. She ended up crashing her car on a service road right off of I-70. That road's called Silver City Road. Clear Creek says that she got out of the car and ultimately pointed a gun at responding officers. They're telling us that officers tried to give her commands to drop the weapon, get her arrested. They're telling us they tried less lethal force first several times. We do not know what that less lethal tactics, what those were.
We attempted multiple times to gain compliance using less lethal options, and they were completely ineffective. And she continued to point her firearm at our deputies. And when she pointed our firearm directly at our deputies stopped the threat and were involved in an officer-involved shooting.
stopped the threat, involved in an officer-involved shooting. That translates to 3 deputies fired at that woman. Clear Creek County says she did not fire back, but she certainly had injuries. She went to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. At this hour, this afternoon, we do not know what her condition is. Those 3 officers are now on paid administrative leave. CBI will investigate the shooting. That is standard protocol in a situation like this. And again, we don't know anything about who this woman is, the suspect that this all started with. We don't even know if she's local. We just know she's an adult woman. Kim and Jeremy?
Jenny, when we think about Christian Glass and that settlement and then the trial that just ended recently, that led to policy changes, and also a lot of people left Clear Creek County. So that should impact some of the things happening today.
Yes, so one of the pieces of that settlement between Clear Creek County and what happened with the shooting was that there were some policy changes within the department, including establishing a crisis response team where mental health responders would go out with paramedics and law enforcement on certain situations. That had a deadline of being up and running by January 1st of 2025, which we're now in March, right? I was told by Clear Creek County today that actually was up and running as of last year, back in 2024, but they weren't out here on scene today. When I asked them why, it wasn't immediately clear to the person who was giving an interview to the reporters, but they said it was probably just the speed of how fast all of this happened and having actual time to activate that and get somebody out here. But these are the kind of questions we're asking, Kim, but how this department's moving forward with how they respond to situations like this in light of that settlement in that Christian Glass case.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure they were expecting those questions. Thanks so much.
Residents say a Loveland assisted living facility suddenly closed this week, leaving people scrambling to find new homes for their loved ones, and fast. 9 News Northern Colorado reporter Amanda Gilbert spoke with one family who's been impacted.
It's a little hard to see, but the lights are off at Aspen House Memory Care and Assisted Living. You'll see the parking lot is empty. There's also permanently closed signs on the doors.
I'm ready.
Sounds good. Dan McGahee's adjusting to his new home. If you asked him a few months ago, he'd tell you he lives here at Aspen House in Loveland.
I kind of got the bum's rush out of Loveland.
Sadly, his wife Carolyn died just before Christmas. Then his son Robert says they were recently notified they'd have 30 days to move Dan.
We've been notified at the end of February that they were going to be closing on March 27th.
This comes just a few months after documents show Aspen House filed for bankruptcy back in September. On Monday, the weeks they were supposed to have turned to 24 hours.
We needed to find a space for my dad by the end of the night.
Luckily, a nonprofit helped Dan's family connect with a non-affiliated assisted living facility in Fort Collins.
You've got Aspen's house, which closed, and then we are Aspen's at Fort Collins.
Executive Director Kirsten Wilson says they were caught off guard too.
Tuesday around noon, we were told that no, some of the residents that we had been speaking with on Monday would actually be moving on Tuesday. I haven't really gone through any of this before for it to happen this quickly.
Dan does seem happy now, but his family's worried about others.
What happened to any residents that might not have had any family or any family that was local? When a place needs to be shut down, there has to be some option other than just you have to leave and figure it out.
I did try to get a hold of Aspen House today, had no luck. I called 2 numbers listed online. One, I left a message. The other, I wasn't able to get through. In Loveland, Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
A family in Denver has made the difficult decision to relocate out of the country due to safety concerns for their transgender daughter. Candace, a mother who chose not to provide her last name for safety reasons, says she has an 11-year-old transgender daughter. And while her daughter has a loving community here in Denver, she worries that access to care and quality of life will diminish under Trump's presidency. Shortly after the inauguration, they decided to move to New Zealand. They have secured an immigration consultant and are starting the process to apply for visas.
We chose to move so that our daughter can have access to care and the quality of life that she deserves. In America, that's not the case anymore. Transgender folks are being targeted both federally and, just personally from people. And we don't want our daughter to have to grow up being afraid for being who she is. That's not an option for us.
The family plans to move this summer to let the kids finish out the school year. Our Jaleesa Irizarry is going to have more on that story at 6 on Next with Kyle Clark.
The Avs are back on the ice tonight hosting the San Jose Sharks. Puck drop is at 7:30. This season marks the third straight for the Avs without their captain, Gabe Landeskog. He's been trying to recover from a major knee surgery, and a surgery that no NHL player has ever had. Now that fight will be the subject of a new 5-part docuseries called A Clean Sheet. Avs fans will get an inside look at Landy's physical and mental journey as he continues his work to get back on the ice. The first episode premieres Sunday at 8 a.m. on TNT and True TV. Episodes will stream on Max about a week later.
It looks really good, really powerful. Last night, the Nuggets pulled off a comeback win over the Kings, thanks in large part to Russell Westbrook. He had 25 points, including 12 in the fourth quarter alone, but his biggest contribution last night wasn't on the court.
But this is why Russell Westbrook is so great. He understands the platform that he has and the impact of something like this, the way it can inspire people.
Russ gave his jersey to a Russell Westbrook superfan. Taehoon Kim traveled all the way from South Korea just to watch him play. Earlier in the game, Scott Hastings caught up with Kim, who said he first became a fan of Westbrook when he was MVP, winning a triple-double season in 2017. He says the Joker is his second favorite player because of all the triple-doubles that he's had as well. That was an awesome moment.
Nuggets head coach Michael Malone is one proud dad. He and his younger daughter, Bridget, are featured on the cover of Mile High Sports. Bridget is a star volleyball player at Mountain Vista High School in Highlands Ranch. The cover story touches on Michael Malone's decision to skip a November 15th Nuggets game in New Orleans in order to watch his daughter, Bridget, play in her final state tournament. Michael says he asked Nuggets president Josh Kroenke about it and was told, "No question. Go support your family." What a good dad.
A good dad, absolutely. We all know 100-year-old Peggy Copham as CU's biggest superfan, but this week Peggy took a different route back to school.
With an O, with a ULDER, and then the other two would stand up with a P, with an A, with an NTHER. A Boulder had a team fight, and the other victory is the team's right. Boulder Panthers, fight, fight, fight.
Yeah, Peggy stopped by her alma mater, Boulder High School, with her niece to hang out with the cheerleading team and the pom team. Peggy and her late twin sister Betty were on the cheer team and graduated in 1942 from Boulder High. And once a cheerleader, always a cheerleader. She still knows the cheers. Peggy remains the biggest cheerleader here in Colorado for her Colorado Buffs.